Okay, so we're gonna need to take out her barrier. And then we're gonna need 3 good attackers who can actually survive her. Or who could survive a counter-attack from her. So, people like Felix, people like Byleth. I don't want to use any of my mages for that, because they're just going to die. Gonna fortify. We might be able to use Ash to take out her barrier, to be honest. Okay, let's give it a try. How many Divine Pulse users do we have left? 5. Okay, we'll try it. Going to start with a Gambit. Oh, 50% only? Are you kidding me? Can I get her over here for a Gambit boost? $65. Oof. Also only 65. What are you? Okay, well, I wasn't gonna use Byleth for gambiting, but... Oh, Byleth doesn't have an offensive gambit, I forgot. Okay, this is gonna suck. But we're gonna have to give it a try.
I'm up for it.
This should do it.
Okay, perfect. Barrier down, that's all I wanted. Let's see. First attack, Felix. Whoa, really? Okay. Oh, Crest of Fraldarius, hooray. So much for she will have 2 HP left. She won't. Byleth is like, I don't fucking care. Here we go. You're growing weak? That's good news for us. Let's go. Okay, so I need him to hit that. I need him to hit that critical, please.
To be changed beyond all recognition. That is what lies at the end of the ideals you serve so diligently. I have no pity for one such as you. If that is the future you hoped for, then you deserve no compassion.
Okay. Then we're gonna have to do this slightly differently.
Ready when you are.
Wait, 35 HP? How much does he give her?
Leave it to me.
38, okay. So we're gonna take the normal lance and we're hoping we don't get a critical. Because I do actually want Dimitri to have the last word here.
Nice try.
11% hit chance, that was just pathetic.
To be changed. If that is...
And let's go. wait, what? That wasn't her final health bar? What? Okay. In that case...
I'm your girl.
In that case, we're gonna do this differently.
Ready when you are.
We are going to use the Killer Lance.
Too slow. This ends now.
I completely forgot that she has one more health bar left. This all kind of sucks. Let's go. Oh! Okay, never mind. Goodbye. Annette! And she dodges. Oops. Okay, Annette. An overachiever to the end.
Edelgard, it is over.
Okay. I'll take it. Here we go again with the reaching out your hand motif. Just a dagger to the shoulder, who cares? And there we go. Now we get a bunch of outros and character
A
endings.
rising flame was alight as the flow of time carved a new history for Fodlan. The long reign of the Adrestian Empire finally met its end when the imperial capital, the city of Enbar, collapsed. After 5.5 years of war, a new age was set to begin. With Fodlan united as the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Archbishop Rhea, still weak from her imprisonment, stepped down from her position. The Church of Seiros began to take the needed steps to reorganize. Prince Dimitri formally ascended the throne, beginning his reign as the king of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, which now included former Alliance and Imperial territories. Texts from the time claimed that the one who guided the king as he sought to create a world free from oppression became the new Archbishop of the Church of Seiros.
So if you look at this mural, you see a lot of people with this like striped pattern that Dedue has on his armor. So this is basically people of Fargus and people of Dusker actually living in harmony together in this ending. And here we go for his support.
Complain. What is it now? You are a fool, just standing there and acting nonchalant. Have you already forgotten about me? I also said I would always be with you. But perhaps you would have preferred it if I had vanished without a trace. You were alone. And so I chose to come back to this world to stay with you. I know. Keep back your tears. You have me now. And I must say that you have done quite well. Of course you have. I chose to join our souls because I have great faith in you. And yet I must admit I did not know you would achieve so much. To think you could have died so early on.
Yeah, to cost us of all people.
Well, who can say? My memory is faint. But all is well that ends so well. Is that not what they say? Huh? What is that thing? A ring, of course, but I must ask, for whom? I see. Or, no, I take it back. You are not making any sense. Could it be that my own feelings were somehow influential? But when I think about it like that, I can't help but feel that I'm so in love, I should make an eternal vow. What? Oh, were you eavesdropping? Oh, fine. I shall admit, I do. I love you deeply, overwhelmingly, passionately. Ours is a love without
Her
end.
freaking voice acting is killing me.
And so, I guess I shall accept that ring of yours. Indeed, it's only right, for you and I are joined within our souls. And that is much the same as marriage, don't you think? The stone within your chest is little more than decoration now. That means it is within your very soul that I exist. And so, whatever are you waiting for?
Yeah, how do you put a ring on somebody who's actually just like some kind of ethereal manifestation of the goddess?
Well, just wear it on your own finger. Our love is all that matters, not a ring. The two of us are one, for now and ever. I hope you are aware of that. In sickness and in health, and come what may, I shall be deep within your heart. I love you, and I can feel the warmth of love from you as well. I know. You can no longer hide a
All
thing
of these,
from me.
or almost all of these
The day you
ending
die,
cuts
I'll
look so
follow you.
weird.
We shall journey as one until the end of time.
They all look kind of
I never
off,
tire of being around
to be
you.
honest.
Since we could not trade words for far too long, I have much that I wish to say to you. I know just where to start. Do you recall what we spoke of before? I had told you not to let your guard down. Honestly, I adore you, but you can be so childish.
Alright, And now we get to the MVPs and the character endings. So I think it starts with the MVP list, which, yeah, we're gonna speed scroll through this. We're not gonna skip it because I do actually want to tally it up after the stream, but we're gonna skip through it. So Dimitri, Felix, Ash, Dimitri, yeah, this all makes sense. There's a lot of Ingrid here and a strange lot of Mercedes, honestly. I would have expected Annette to be MVP a lot more than she was. But yeah, nice. Mostly Dimitri, as expected. Okay, here come the character endings. Sorcery Incarnate, Constance. For her service in war and her innovations in magic, Constance von Noël was among the first to receive peerage in the Newfoundland. For generations thereafter, her noble house was valued as a leader in magical research and development. Great ending, exactly what I wanted. Traveling merchant Anna. Anna's business savvy proved to be a great asset in the post-war construction of Garrigmach. Once the restoration was complete, she disappeared from the area entirely, for tales of a mysterious merchant were passed down in every corner of the world for centuries to come. Some say she continues her travels even to this day, eternally peddling her wares, and ever in search of the next lucrative opportunity. Cyril, Limitless Potential. Unable to serve Freya any longer, Cyril nearly left the church. He was persuaded to stay, however, to assist in rebuilding the monastery he had helped maintain. Thanks to his devoted work ethic, the Officers' Academy was able to reopen a few years later. When the new students took to the reception hall, Cyril found himself among them. Love that for him, finally making his own way. Catherine and Shamir, Free Knight and Distant Archer. After quitting the Knights of Seros, Catherine and Shamir set out on a lifelong journey together. The pair were inseparable as they traveled across Fotland and eventually wound up in Shamir's homeland of Dagda. They faced many hardships on their adventures, some of which were self-inflicted, as the duo had a way of sticking their noses into others' business in their efforts to right wrongs. It is said, however, that no foe they encountered ever proved a match for the combined might of Shamir's marksmanship and Catherine's thunderbrand. Love them. Alois, Son of the Knights. Once all the fighting had come to an end, Alois officially took up the position of captain of the Knight of Seros. In this capacity he was much beloved and the Knights became more unified than ever under his command. It is said that their accomplishments during his tenure were beyond even what Cheryl's troop had achieved. Oh, good for Alois. Divine Songstress Manuela. Manuela left Garrigmach to build her own academy in a small war-torn town. There she contributed heavily to rebuilding efforts while teaching future generations the necessary skills of survival. Though she never married or had children of her own, she spent the last years of her life happily devoted to her students. And this is why I say I love it when a game offers you an option that does not end in marriage. It's great. She's got a great ending. Ally of the Archbishop Sedef. Sedef remained at the monastery and worked to restore the authority of the Church of Seros. Doing away with his old strictness, he adopted a tolerant stance towards all. His encouragement of believers to respect those of other faiths helped the people of Fotland to find common ground with others. Absolutely love it. Lysithia Hanneman, one of my favorites. A scholar of misfortune and father of Christology. After the war, Lysithia returned to her parents in Ordelia territory. She was joined by Hanneman, and together the two worked to research a method with which to extend her lifespan. Some years later, their efforts bore fruit, and they devised a procedure to remove her crests. Afterward, Lysithia renounced her noble claim and continued to assist Hanneman with his research. When he passed, she took up his mantle and by the great discoveries she made came to be called the Golden Child of Christology. Such a good ending for both of them. Raphael, Beast of Leicester, and Flame, the Slumbering Princess. Raphael returned to his hometown where he served as liege lord as a knight for a time. Later he gave it up to help manage the inn that his family had opened during the time. Away from the battlefield and able to eat as much as he pleased, he eventually began to grow soft. It was around that time that Flame, who had also neglected her training, came to visit. The two helped motivate one another, and thereafter they embarked on a new exercise routine. It is said that their energetic shouts of cries and exertion could be heard. So at least the two of them lived. Noble of the Red Rose, Lawrence, and the Bladebreaker, Leone, too. As the new head of House Closter, Lawrence first worked to restore his territory and then expanded his vision to include reforms of all Fotland. At the height of his storied political career, he announced his marriage to Leone, who had become a renowned mercenary. The choice came as a shock to the public, who could not see that the pair had in common, but those who knew them well saw it as inevitable. So, love this. He finally got over his feelings about commoners. Queen of Bridget Petra and worldly artist Ignaz. Petra returned to her homeland of Bridget and inherited the throne from her grandfather. As ruler, she declared independence from Fodlan and renegotiated Bridget's diplomatic ties to Fodlan and Dagda on more equal terms. At every step along the way, she was accompanied and supported by her husband Ignaz, who had left Fodlan behind to be with her. Trade with Fodlan boomed under Petra's reign, thanks in no small part to the Victor Trading Company. But while Ignaz was happy to support Petra's goals, he remained focused on his work as an artist. His picturesque renditions of Bridget landscape, done in the Fodlan style, were held in high regard all over the world. Love that one for the two of them. Roaming instigator Caspar and free-spirit Hilda. Caspar and Hilda, under no pressure to inherit any noble titles, spent the early years of peace after the war traveling. They had journeyed to every corner of Fodlan and even ventured abroad now and again. Caspar's antics caused endless entertainment for Hilda, who loved to stand by and watch him fight or squirm his way out of trouble. Eventually, their free-spirited adventure was called to an end by Hilda's brother Holst, who offered Caspar a position as a knight in service of House Goneril. Caspar accepted, and before long he and Hilda were married. The couple raised many children. This is amazing, this ending. Sleepy Crest scholar Linhard and Eternal Loner Bernadetta. Linhard and Bernadetta caused quite a stir after the war when they abandoned their inherited titles and eloped to Garrick Mark. Returning to the monastery, where they were always the most comfortable, the couple lived peaceful lives away from the hassle of politics. When the church was fully restored, the Officers' Academy reopened, and the two eccentric individuals took up professorship there. One was perpetually asleep, absorbed in absent-minded study. The other refused to show herself at all, unless for class. Love, love, love these two. Ferdinand and Dorothea. After officially becoming the new Dog Eyre, Ferdinand set about reforming his territory. Thanks to the wisdom of his wife Dorothea, Ferdinand's policies were of massive benefit to the common folk and brought about a swift recovery. In recognition of his achievement, he was called upon to help govern Fodman at large. For the work of reforming the entire nation kept him busy, he always managed to find time for his wife Dorothea. It is said that their children filled their loving household with music ever after. Underground Lord Yuri and King of Grappling Balthus. After the war, Yuri returned to the underworld. Sometime after assuming control of the illicit markets, he happened upon Balthus, who had become so down on his luck that he had collapsed in an alley. Yuri helped Balthus back to his feet and offered him work as a bodyguard. While Balthus first accepted just to get by, he came to enjoy the lifestyle so much that he remained at Yuri's side for the rest of his days. The underworld kingpin and the indomitable king of grappling made such an impression on the world that their names were feared for centuries. Mafia bromance, I love it. Gilbert, veteran patriot. Gilbert returned to Ferdiad and resumed his duties as a knight, faithfully serving King Dimitri for many years. When he finally retired, it is said he spent the rest of his days coaching the young prince in the art of combat. So Dimitri had a son. And Gilbert has now taught 4 generations of Ferdiad kings. Arrow of Justice, Hash, and Freed Spirit, Happy. After the war, Ash was formally knighted and appointed the new head of House Gaspard, which had no successors. He soon married Happy, whose competence lent much reliability to the governance of the territory. The ruling couple developed a frank and earnest relationship with their people, and their territory prospered. They were also blessed with many children. Their home was always so busy and full of merriment that there was never an occasion to sigh. It is said that Happy took such delight in recounting Ash's stories to their children that it became hard to believe she had ever despised knights. And I love that. I love that she outgrew her hatred of knights and that she never had a reason to sigh. Dedu and Mercedes. 2 years after the war, Dedu and his wife Mercedes opened a school in the Duska residential district in Ferdiad. The school educated Duska children who had never been given structured learning before in reading, writing, arithmetic, and even Duska history. Many years later, when the Duska people reclaimed their homeland, the people who attended the school were able to resettle there and revive their old culture. Because of this, Dedu and Mercedes were forever renowned by the Dusker. My OTP, Felix and Annette. After the war, Felix inherited the title of Duke Fraldarius from his late father Rodrigue. Sometime later he married Annette, and the pair earned renown by working together hard to restore their territory beyond its former glory. The people adored the pair, Felix for his fierce determination and Annette for her boundless cheer. Years later, Annette threw herself into songwriting. With the support and encouragement of her husband, she produced melodies that remained popular for generations. The lyrics became distorted over time, however, and the original meaning of the music was lost. I don't think there was much meaning to begin with. Sylvain and Ingrid. As Margrave Gautier, Sylvain devoted his life to improving relationships with the people of Strang. Under his leadership, nobles were persuaded that relics and crests were not necessary, as they had previously thought. Though he went down in history as an extraordinary lord, he could not have done so without the constant support and counsel of his wife Ingrid, whose wisdom and tenacity ensured that the people would prosper. Sylvain was ever loyal to his beloved wife. The couple had many children, and while not one of them bore a crest, they were all equally and wholeheartedly loved. And this one always nearly makes me cry. Dimitri assumed the throne of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and spent his life ruling justly over Fodlan. Several years after his coronation, he took Marianne, whom he loved dearly, as his queen. Many of Dimitri's greatest achievements can be traced to wisdom provided by Marianne, who had received tutelage from her adoptive father, Margrave Edmund. Many years later, when Dimitri fell to illness, he clutched his queen's hand until the very end. The queen's journal, uncovered after her passing, contained recounts of their time together. The last words, penned with trembling hand, are, "I would not trade our time together, nor the happiness we knew, for nothing." I love these two. And Byleth and Sophis. Byleth helped Dimitri to finally crush the ambitions of the Empire. After the war, Rhea stepped down from her role as Archbishop, and Byleth swore to lead the Church of Cyrus in her stead. She helped to guide the Holy Kingdom of Fargus as it brought leadership to the new Fodlan, and worked tirelessly to create a peaceful world free from shackles of oppression. So yeah, as you can see, some of those battle numbers, over 9,000. Yeah, but some of my absolute favorite pairings in there, especially the endings for Dimitri and Marianne, the duo and Mercedes, basically all of the blue lines. Lots of reading, but I really think these are some of the best endings for all the characters. Lysithea and Hanuman, absolutely amazing. So yeah, that was Azure Moon. We did it. We actually got through it. I'm going to skip the ending because there's nothing here that we need to see. And we're just going to save here. So, what is going to happen now is that we are actually going to see what we're going to stream next. And for that, we are going to switch, and I hope this is going to work because this is the first time I'm ever switching scenes, and I hope my microphone will still work correctly after this. So let's give it a try. Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice today. Cool, let's switch. Boom. So we are going to roll the dice. And what that means is we're going to basically, this, what you can see on the screen right now, or I hope you can see it on the screen, because actually let me put this in a little corner so I can still see chat. Oh, I cannot actually see chat like this. What we're going to do right now is we are going to roll an RNG to pick whichever game we're going to stream next. What you see in the background here on the left side is a list of every single game I own. And now that I know that it works, I'm gonna minimize this window from Streamlabs. What you see here is a list of every single game I own and that I have not streamed before. If there are multiple installments, you will see the first installment on the left and the later installments listed on the right. We are going to pick a random number between 1 and 135, and whatever number is going to be picked is going to be the next game I stream. Now, depending on what kind of game that is, I might either start streaming tomorrow or I might start streaming next week, because if it's a strategy game, I'm gonna have to do some research because I don't want to completely stumble in the dark in a strategy game. That's just not how I like to play games. You will also see here is a completed tab, which Azure Moon will now go on here. There's also an unlisted tab. These are games that I own, but that for some reason or another I will never stream. We have Game of Thrones, a Telltale series. This game just pissed me off beyond recognition and I don't ever want to see it again. We have Mafia 3, which is full of DMCA restricted music. That's just going to get me taken off the stream immediately. Superpower 2 is a political simulator, and I am not very good with simulator games to begin with strategy games. And I do like to try to keep my politics and gaming separate, because politics to me is a very serious topic and a very stressful topic in many ways. And instead, I want to enjoy when I stream. So I don't think I would have fun streaming Superpower 2 and 3, I'm sorry. And Uncharted, unfortunately, gives me motion sickness, so that's why that's here. I would love to play the Uncharted games, but again, motion sickness. One of the options on the wheel is a Fire Emblem Three Houses challenge run. If we land on that, I will explain what this fourth tab is, because otherwise we don't need it. So anyway, we set between 2 and 135, because 1 is the first is the titles. Okay, so between 2 and 135, let's go. 2 and 135. Let's roll. 85. What's 85? Oh! MIT 29 Fulcrum. I have no idea what this is. I think this is one of the old Nova Logic properties. So that should be... that was a lot of first-person shooter, military simulation kind of games. So we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to see. I have it on Steam. I have to see if I can get it running on my... I had never heard of it before either until I started working for THQ. THQ Nordic, I should say. So yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can get this working on my... I'm gonna have to see if I can get this working on my PC. And if I can, we will stream it tomorrow. And if not, we're gonna roll tomorrow and we're gonna pick another game. And hope we land on something that I know I can actually stream and that I can install reasonably quickly. So until then, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you have a good one and I hope you have a lovely Saturday. And thank you for joining me on the Azure Moon journey. And I hope to see you all again tomorrow, hopefully with this game that we just rolled. Otherwise, we're going to roll the dice again. 7 p.m. Vienna time. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.